Coming up, moving closer to a deal to balance the federal budget, the president rips Republicans, but behind the scenes, a deal might be in the works.
And the story of the city officials and the go-go dancers. A little party at a Philadelphia restaurant is just the latest embarrassment for some at City Hall.
Plus, the days of the month that a woman is most likely to get pregnant. Now it's less of a mystery. Those stories and more next on the Fox 10 o'clock news.
Introducing 1-800-MUSIC now. Sample and buy your favorite music right over the phone. You call, you listen, you like, you buy.
These days, being a parent means getting the most for your money. And the last thing you need to worry about is a high car payment. That's where Chevy Lumina comes in. For a lot less than Ford Taurus GL, you get 24-hour roadside assistance, a 3-year bumper-to-bumper limited warranty. And now you can get a great lease payment on the well-equipped Lumina. You see, we've worried about everything, so you don't have to. The 1996 Lumina, a car your family can trust.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do. Nobody's got the power to please me.
You can't see deep down embedded dirt, but now it can't hide from the new Hoover Dirt Finder. It electronically senses embedded dirt, so Hoover's powerful cleaning effectiveness can get what you might have missed. You'll know it's clean when the light turns green.
Hoover, nobody does it like you.
Now we've got Cops 6 nights a week on Fox Philadelphia. And now, Philadelphia's first prime-time news hour, the Fox 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, I'm Jill Chernikoff.
And I'm Rich Noonan. Here's what's happening tonight. The president fires another shot in the bruising battle over the budget. President Clinton vetoed the latest Republican budget proposal today, saying he did it for America. Now the Republicans want to know what happens next. Patrick McGrath has the story.
President Clinton vetoed the Republican balanced budget bill with the same pen used by President Lyndon Johnson when he signed the original Medicare legislation.
Today I am vetoing the biggest Medicare and Medicaid cuts in history, deep cuts in education, a rollback in environmental protection, and a tax increase on working families.
Since the Republican bill did not pass by a 2/3 margin, the president's veto effectively killed the measure, which would have trimmed more than $400 billion from the growth of Medicare and Medicaid and provided $245 billion in tax cuts.
We must balance the budget, but we must do it in a way that honors the commitments that we all have and that keeps our people together.
Republicans knew the veto was coming, but they were unhappy nonetheless.
It was ironic that the president would use the pen that created Medicare to veto a bill that would have saved it.
I think the president must have been listening to the Grinch that tried to steal Christmas, because that Grinch advised him to steal families' tax cuts in this holiday season.
He has a very heavy responsibility now, for he has thrown away a balanced budget that is real, and yet he suggests that he can get a balanced budget by spending more. We anxiously await his submission.
President Clinton was asked how he will get to a balanced budget in just 7 years without sacrificing his priorities. His response? Tune in tomorrow. Well, a lot of Americans will be doing just that. From the White House, Patrick McGrath, Fox News.
House Speaker Newt Gingrich is smarting tonight after a stinging rebuke from the bipartisan House Ethics Committee. The committee found that Gingrich committed 3 separate ethics violations but voted not to punish him. It also approved outside counsel to probe allegations that Gingrich broke federal election laws. Gingrich is accused of using his college lectures as a fundraising tool for his political action committee, GOPAC. The Ethics Committee used harsh language to describe the speaker's conduct. The harshest involved his book deal with HarperCollins, which originally agreed to give Gingrich a $4.5 million advance. The committee said, quote, "At a minimum, this creates the impression of exploiting one's office for personal gain." Gingrich later gave up the advance after intense criticism. Tonight, the Speaker says the Ethics Committee report is, quote, good news because he says it clears him of almost all the accusations.
More American troops touched down at Tuzla Air Base in Bosnia today. A C-130 transport plane arrived in Tuzla virtually unseen because of heavy mist. 12 military officers were on board, along with the equipment needed to refurbish the airfield. They will work to prepare the Tuzla base for the 20,000 U.S. troops that will begin arriving there in a couple of weeks. Also today, 45 NATO staff officers and soldiers flew into the Croatian capital of Zagreb, where they'll set up NATO headquarters for the peace mission. They nicknamed this mission Lost Christmas Number 6. They've missed 6 in a row. That's what it means to a group of Air Force personnel from McGuire Air Base, which is on its way to Bosnia tonight. As Susan Bueller reports, some soldiers have reservations about the dangers that await them.
More than 40 Air Force personnel are on a new mission tonight, a mission they have only read about until today. A second contingent of the 621st Air Mobility Operations Group at McGuire Air Force Base has been called to serve in Bosnia.
There's probably going to be some risk, but I guess anytime you go somewhere, you're going to have that risk.
Knowing those risks, these men and women have had their bags packed for the last 36 hours. Even those who have been on dozens of other missions are anxious and leery about this one.
You gotta wonder and say, oh, I hope I come back.
One of the Air Force's largest and newest planes is also being called into service. Supplies were loaded into a C-17 aircraft, the first to be deployed from McGuire. The plane these men and women are boarding is on its way to Germany tonight. The rest of their 6-month mission is classified. Their job is to help preserve peace in a place they could easily encounter war, a reality not lost on their families.
She said she was going to pray for me, so she's kind of worried about me.
The captain of this squadron says the men aboard this plane are considered the A-team, professionals at what they do. They also know the risks and are prepared to take them.
It's always the unknown that seems to catch you. It's not what you know about, it's what you don't know about.
The members of the 621st that took off today will eventually be among 300 from McGuire that will go to Bosnia, a mission they volunteered for, no matter what lies ahead. At McGuire Air Force Base, Susan Bueller, the Fox 10 o'clock news.
As American soldiers head into Bosnia, the American Red Cross is opening its emergency communication service. The Red Cross is sending 18 representatives to the Balkans to help get word to U.S. servicemen and women in times of family emergency.
If someone's father would be sick or their wife would give birth, it's the Red Cross is the only way that you can communicate with a service person serving overseas.
If you need to get in touch with a family member serving in the Balkans, you can call the Red Cross hotline at 215-299-4000. That number is open 24 hours a day.
An embarrassing story involving some of the mayor's staff has resulted in mudslinging between the mayor's office and his soon-to-be ex-head of licenses and inspections. Bryn Friedman reports on what could be the first of many volleys.
Exotic dancers, a deputy mayor, a most important mayoral aide. All met and partied at La Buca restaurant in October, where one well-endowed dancer from this well-known club reportedly put her breasts on Herb Biederman's head like a hat. Marie was there.
Not saying it didn't. I did not witness it. I was there. I did not witness that happening. So, you know, I think men have a tendency to exaggerate.
Still, the image of Herb hung around City Hall all day. Even the mayor couldn't resist a joke.
As I understand the column, he was just sitting there, and all of a sudden these objects came down and hit him in the head. So it seems to me he would have a civil action for assault.
While the mayor joked, Herb Biederman and David Cohen's top aide, Ted Beichman, were ordered out of camera view, leaving the mayor and his chief of staff to say what the men did wasn't illegal. It was just stupid.
I think it is essentially a matter of questionable judgment.
According to inside sources, Ted Beichman called the Department of Licenses and Inspections, the city agency which regulates strip clubs, to find exotic dancers for a friend's stag party. We were told the call went straight to the top of L&I, to the soon-to-be ex-commissioner Bennett Levin, who helped make arrangements for the girls.
No, that's absolutely a lie, okay? And those people that want to say that, as sources say it, they ought to come forward and they ought to say it with their face in the camera, and then I'd be glad to respond to it.
Those close to the mayor believe Levin, who has been in a very public fight with Rendell, resigning one day, asking to be reinstated the next, dropped a dime on the Daily News, who broke the story to embarrass the administration, a charge Levin adamantly denies. The mayor himself stayed out of the fray.
Bennett Levin served the people of this city, and he was an A+.
But privately, sources close to the mayor call Levin a sick man, a loose cannon, a pathological liar. We are told in the last few months, Levin has tried to resign more than a dozen times, and each time was talked out of it. But by the time the last letter of resignation arrived, the mayor was ready for him to go.
People who say that I became a pathological liar ought to go see a psychiatrist, because there's nothing wrong with me. I'm perfectly sane, I'm perfectly lucid, and the difference is I know right from wrong.
For City Hall watchers, it was very clear that what happened today had less to do with exotic dancers and more to do with the ongoing battle between the mayor's office and Bennett Levin, a battle some say is just beginning to heat up. At City Hall, Bryn Friedman, the Fox 10 O'Clock News.
Pennsylvania's decision to abandon its enhanced automobile emissions inspection system is going to cost the state $145 million. 2 years ago, the state hired Arizona-based Envirotest to build and operate centralized emissions test centers. Earlier this year, Governor Tom Ridge pulled the plug on that project. Envirotest sued. Today, the governor announced that the state has reached a $145 million settlement.
Coming up, big news for women trying to become pregnant and those trying to avoid it.
2 elementary school children are dead in Los Angeles after a freak accident with a garbage truck.
Iron Mike Tyson invites the reporters to see how he's getting ready for his upcoming Philadelphia fight.
And a medical emergency for Michael Jackson late this afternoon. He was rushed to the hospital. There is much more ahead as the Fox 10 O'Clock News continues.
Tommy, 4 performances only, December 28th through 30th at Blockbuster Sony Music Entertainment Center. Tickets are on sale now.
I'm Sam Gerson, and I'm here at the Great Wall of Shirts and Filings basement, talking to you about our holiday dress shirt extravaganza. We've got whites, we've got blues, 100% cotton, our world-famous Saddles label. We've got 16s, we've got 17s, 18-inch neck size. The bigger the neck, the bigger the bag. Button-downs, we've got pointed collars this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2 for just $40. You'd pay $42.50 for 1 in a department store. Here you can afford to buy 2 of them.
I'm on the road all season. I don't eat right. Sometimes I get irregular. But I can't let it slow me down, because if I miss a call, I will hear about it. I didn't want to use a harsh chemical laxative. They can hit you suddenly. No time out for that. So I take Metamucil. Metamucil is natural fiber. It works with my body so I can get regular, stay regular, lets me keep focused on the game. So I never miss a call. In my opinion.
Metamucil, the natural choice for regularity.
That's rather personal. How much do you spend every year on long distance?
Could be a small fortune.
More than $1,000. How'd you like to get some of that back?
Certainement.
Say again?
What do I have to do?
Just get Sprint Cents International. Now, on top of simply great rates to countries around the world, you'll get cash back every year you're with Sprint, so it pays to stay.
Really fabulous to get cash back.
I would call more often.
I'll go for a vacation.
Cash is good.
What are you going to do with the money you get back from Sprint?
Call for Sprint Cents International. Now with cash back.
When was the last time you played in the rain? Let your hair go wild. Flexed your muscles to the world. Stayed up past your bedtime. When was the last time you really had fun in a car for only $3.99 a month? See your Buick dealer today and have fun. Riviera by Buick.
Important news tonight for couples who are trying to have a baby and for those who are not. Doctors writing in tomorrow's New England Journal of Medicine say they have pinned down the time when a woman is most likely to get pregnant. Dr. Brian McDonough is here with more. Doctor?
Well, Rich, you could try and ask somebody who's tried to prevent pregnancy through using the rhythm method what the best way to do it is, or you could ask their children. The truth is that it has been an inexact science, with many saying sex should be avoided 2 days before and 2 days after ovulation. Now the days have been pinned down.
Danielle Norlander is due to have a baby in 6 weeks. Like many women, when she first got pregnant, she wasn't thinking if she would have a girl or a boy.
It's hard enough to get pregnant, and let alone figure out what the sex of the baby's going to be.
Some women struggle to get pregnant, while others try to avoid it. But tomorrow's study clearly shows when the odds are greatest to get pregnant.
It really depends on knowing your menstrual cycle, and it's based on a 28-day, exactly 28-day menses.
The typical woman has a 28-day cycle starting with the first day of her period. On day 14, the average woman ovulates or releases her egg. The study says that the 6 days leading up to ovulation account for virtually 100% of pregnancies. This Hollywood version of fertilization presents a humorous view of sperm attacking an egg. But the truth is that there is a small window of time to get pregnant, those 6 days. But there is a catch to this seemingly simple theory.
That doesn't always hold for all women. Women can vary in the length of their cycle from 28 to 35 days. And if in one cycle you have a period in 35 days, and then in the next cycle it's 28 days, you can actually keep missing the time that you ovulate.
Danielle Norlander isn't worrying about getting pregnant now. She has other things on her mind.
I sort of think it's going to be a girl, but I don't know.
Now that brings up another interesting point. Can a person influence whether a pregnancy will result in a boy or a girl by having sex at a particular time of the month or in a specific position? The study looked at that. The answer is no. Now once again, to go over this one more time, days 9 through 14 after your period are the days when you can really get pregnant, and 100% of them virtually occur. The other thing is, you might be saying, well, when do I ovulate? How am I going to know? There are ways, which we won't go into now, that you can tell, and you can talk with your doctor to specifically find those days if you're one of those people within your regular cycle.
Taking your temperature and that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Well, you're certainly an expert, Brian, so thank you.
Another one in January.
Oh, boy. Here we go. In other news now, President Clinton says finding a cure and a vaccine for AIDS is a top national priority. Mr. Clinton addressed AIDS activists at his administration's first conference on AIDS and HIV. He touted this country's achievements against the disease since he took office and vowed to fight cuts in Medicaid. Protesters criticized Clinton's promises, saying today's conference alone came 3 years after it was first promised. A fundraising poster for AIDS research is being pulled because of its controversial message. The poster reads, "If the Pope had AIDS, he'd need more than just prayers." The poster is part of an awareness and fundraising campaign, which also targets the president, House Speaker Newt Gingrich, and some others. The poster's creator is pulling the Pope's poster because he says controversy will detract from its message that no one is beyond AIDS.
2 children are dead after a freak accident involving a school bus and a trash truck in Los Angeles. It happened when the bus went by the trash truck just as the hydraulic arm inside the truck broke free. That arm, which operates the trash compactor, became like a missile, shot through the side of the trash truck, then punched out the windows of the bus. Aside from the 2 children killed, 2 others were hurt, one of them critically.
A 19-year-old baggage handler at New York's Kennedy Airport is charged with stealing $500,000 in jewels from the Duchess of York. The FBI recovered a diamond cluster necklace and bracelet that were stolen from Duchess Sarah Ferguson on Monday. The wedding present from Queen Elizabeth was taken from luggage that was inside a British Airways jet. Police say Gilbert Torero had bragged to his friends about stealing the jewels. They were found in a doghouse behind his parents' home and in an airport locker. Torero is now out free on $75,000 bond.
O.J. Simpson's lawyer, Johnny Cochran, says Simpson will give a no-holds-barred interview to CNN, but so far no date has been announced. CNN legal analyst Greta Van Susteren says she got Simpson to agree to his first televised interview after speaking with him for several hours. Simpson, who was acquitted of murdering his ex-wife and her friend, had pulled out of an earlier interview he promised to NBC. His attorney cited the pending wrongful death civil lawsuits filed by the victims' families as the reason for that cancellation.
Mike Tyson was in Kensington today to begin his local training for his December 16th fight at the Spectrum. The former heavyweight champ was mobbed by fight fans and residents at today's workout. Dave Schratweiser has more on the build-up to the big bout.
Mike Tyson, the greatest fighter of our era. Pound for pound. That's right. Fight time. Wake up. I'm Mike Tyson.
The man.
He's back.
He is back.
For fans of Mike Tyson and people who live near Howard and Thompson Streets, Joe Haines Gym was the place to be this afternoon. The former heavyweight champion was coming to town to train, and men, women, and children flocked to the gym hoping to catch a glimpse or something else from Tyson.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
I'm down here because I'm a big Mike Tyson fan. I'm trying to get some gloves signed for my collection.
This is why I want him to autograph to me. Big Tyson fan, always was. I'm going to get these gloves signed right here.
Gonna have to back up for me. You are right in front.
When Tyson rolled up in his Mercedes, the press for pictures and autographs was on. Tyson was swallowed up by the media and Fight Faithful, anxious to get up close. But Tyson went inside. No autographs this time. Tyson was here to train and entertain.
Iron Mike, just one!
Inside, Tyson was all business. His bout with Buster Mathis is just under 2 weeks away. Even the crowd of over 200 writers, photographers, and cameramen didn't faze him. After a quick tape job on his hands, it was into the ring, and fists were flying.
I think he done his time, he paid his dues, and everybody gets a second chance.
Oh, I'm psyched.
Joe Hand Jr. runs this gym with his dad. He says Tyson and Philadelphia are a good match, and big-time boxing here will get a big-time boost from this fight.
From the guy that made the banner to the guy that installed the heating system yesterday on short notice, this fight is bringing an infusion of money into this market, and we're thrilled to death about it.
Wake up! It's fight time! That's right. Pound for pound!
Dave Schratweiser, the Fox 10 o'clock news.
Coming up, the city of Philadelphia cracks down on nuisance bars.
And in Washington, a bright and colorful reminder that Christmas is just around the corner.
The produce tip of the day is brought to you by Lancaster Brand Meat. Make it Lancaster Brand because Lancaster Brand makes the meal.
In keeping with this week's theme of holiday baking, today's topic makes for some sweet-tasting breads and cakes. These are fresh dates, folks, and it's just like adding honey to the mix. Okay, dates are pretty heavy in the calorie department, but there's no fat or cholesterol, and they do contain some good stuff like fiber, folic acid, and potassium. Now, these particular dates are called medjool. They're considered a premium variety because they're nice and plump and soft. Now, dates have a long pit inside. Just take a knife, slit it lengthwise, and the pit almost pops right out. And these dates are so big that once you've removed the pit, they can be stuffed with soft cheeses. Now, the medjool originated in Morocco, and it was first grown here in 1927. And thank goodness, because disease has since killed the Moroccan date trees, we actually saved this variety. If you like sweet-tasting holiday treats, don't forget to add your dates. This is your greengrocer, Johnny Lero, with your produce tip of the day.
For over 75 years, Lancaster Brand semi-boneless smoked ham has been a holiday tradition. Our specially trimmed premium ham is easy to prepare. It's low in salt with no water added, making Lancaster Brand the best tasting ham you can buy. And for an even more convenient holiday meal, treat your guests to our fully cooked spiral sliced ham. Either way, this holiday season, make it Lancaster Brand, because Lancaster Brand makes the meal festive.
Bring your family to the Gardens at Montgomery's for a unique holiday experience. Their 12-acre nursery and 18th century barn is brimming with everything to spark your Christmas spirit. The Gardens at Montgomery's has Christmas trees by the thousands, firs, spruce trees, and pines, all 20 to 40% off. Also, the area's largest selection of fresh greens, wreaths, and the most stunning display of poinsettias you've ever seen. You'll find theme-decorated Christmas trees, gifts, and crafts, all you need for gift-giving and entertaining this holiday season. So come, step back in time at the Gardens at Montgomery's.
An overnight house fire in Burlington County claimed the life of a Pemberton Township man. Police are now trying to figure out if it was arson. The house was engulfed in flames when firefighters arrived at the home on Lakehurst Road around 3:30 this morning. Family members told police someone was still inside, but it was too late to save 37-year-old Richard Hopkins. Hopkins' mother, 2 brothers, and a friend all escaped unharmed.
If you complain, they will come. That is the message about nuisance bars in Philadelphia. The city and state are asking for your help in closing those bars down. Rich Maneri reports.
This bar was once the scourge of the neighborhood.
What was this place like when it was open? It was rowdy. It was crazy out here.
But neighbors complained long and loud about Luquillo's Tavern at 7th and Tioga. The noise, the drugs, the killing. The cries for help were heard. In August, the bar was boarded up. The State Liquor Control Board revoked its license. Luquillo's was gone.
Now it's cool off. It's like I said, it's cool off now. The walking cops, it's good. It's good they had the walking cops around.
It is very, very important for the citizens of Philadelphia to understand that we need public input into this process.
Today, state and city officials announced a renewed commitment to go after nuisance bars like Luquillo's. They also wanted to deliver a message to the public.
We can't be out there looking at every one of the 3,200 plus licensed establishments, licensed bars, taverns, and restaurants in the city of Philadelphia that dispense liquor. We need citizens' help.
Since the state formed the Public Nuisance Task Force in 1990, 46 nuisance bars have been shut down in Pennsylvania, 15 in Philadelphia, all because people like those who live near Luquillo's have come forward.
They need to give us the information. They need to give us the affidavits. They need to come out and organize, and they need to tell us this is not the quality of life that we wish to have.
These days, life near Luquillo's is far from perfect, but the people here have spoken and made sure one nuisance will not be accepting any more visitors. In West Kensington, Rich Maneri, the Fox 10 o'clock News.
If you would like to report a nuisance bar, you can call the DA's Nuisance Task Force at 215-686-5858, or you can call the State Liquor Control Board at 215-560-4111.
Philadelphia police honored their own tonight in a special ceremony at Fraternal Order of Police headquarters. Officers received awards for acts of bravery, valor, and heroism over the past year. Several civilians were also honored for their work in support of the force. The awards have special meaning for the officers who get them because they are given by their peers.
Hundreds of Plymouth Meeting residents turned out at a Township Council hearing tonight to protest plans for a huge shopping center there. Developers are now scaling back plans for what could have been one of the largest outdoor shopping centers on the East Coast. The Township will now consider a retail center that is 40% smaller than originally proposed, along with several improvement projects for the site off Chemical Road. A vote on the final proposal is not expected until sometime next year.
1995 has been a big year for economic growth, but as the year draws to a close, people are wondering if that growth will continue into the new year. Today, Core States Bank issued its forecast for 1996. Tracy Matisek has more now on what the experts say we can expect.
What we can expect is more of the same.
Core States economist Dr. Carol Leisenring says there's no sign of a recession for 1996 and that the economy will continue to grow, though slowly. That means the days of double-digit corporate profits are over, but the days of downsizing are not.
There are still many industries, including the banking industry, that are still going through an adjustment and a restructuring process. So I don't think you can, unfortunately, I don't think you can say it's over.
The news is better if you're looking to buy a house. Mortgage rates could slip to about 7% next year, and the pickings are plentiful.
If you're a buyer, you're probably in pretty good shape because we still have a fair amount of unsold homes on the market, and mortgage rates have come down and are going to continue to come down in our view.
Dr. Leisenring sees inflation hovering around a low 2.5%. Combine that with moderate economic growth, and the stage is set for lower interest rates ahead. And what about the Dow? Is 6,000 within reach?
Cut. I don't project the stock market.
Dr. Leisenring says Core States is bullish on the stock market, though many economists predict it will end 1996 not far from where it started, right around 5,000.
As for Core States itself, 1996 will bring about a major merger. Core States is following the biggest trend in the banking industry and teaming up with Reading-based Meridian Bank. That deal is expected to go through by late spring. In Center City, Tracy Matisek, the Fox 10 o'clock News.
There were plenty of creatures stirring outside the White House tonight as President and Mrs. Clinton lighted the national Christmas tree. The 72nd annual event brought out the holiday cheer and the thousands who showed up to witness it firsthand. Even Santa Claus, who looked a bit like Willard Scott, shared in the fun. This year's ceremony was dedicated to the peacemakers of the world, especially to the U.S. troops in Bosnia.
Coming up, Howard Stern makes a decision about a scheduled date in Philadelphia.
In sports, Bill Perry has more on Mike Tyson's preparations for Buster Mathis Jr., and the Melrose Diner cooks up a big honor for a long-time cook.
On the next episode of Seinfeld.
Where's the car? Well, I thought it was here. You don't know where we parked? Everything looks the same. We're like rats in some experiment.
Seinfeld, tomorrow at 7:30 on Fox Philadelphia.
It's Hecht's Day and Night Sale. Find great gifts plus great savings. Shop Friday and Saturday, 8 till midnight. The Day and Night Sale, only at Hecht's.
Critics are calling Jumanji the wildest, funniest movie of the season. An adventure that makes Jurassic Park look like a petting zoo.
Don't look back!
Robin Williams is hilarious. It's the greatest movie adventure you'll ever take. Perfect for the whole family. This movie should provide seatbelts. Robin Williams. Jumanji. Rated PG. At theaters December 15th.
Get pumped, because right now you can get any Pro Cool water pump for any car just $24.99, and that's with a lifetime warranty. Installation available at Pep Boys and Parts USA now.
This holiday season, my good friend gave to me 7 Keystone jackpots, 6 wild card lottos, 5 cash buys, 4 big 4s, 3 daily numbers, 2 hearts and diamonds.
Happy holidays, Rita.
Thanks, Joe.
Great gift.
Pennsylvania lottery tickets make great gifts, like holiday cash. So give them to all the great people on your list.
Happy holidays.
And best wishes from the lottery.
Stop! Don't pay retail prices for your computer needs. Come to the Computer Show and Sale
this Saturday and Sunday at the Valley Forge Convention Center in King of Prussia.
On the next Home Improvement.
I'll be waiting for you at the finish line, Tim.
When the Tool Men have a showdown in Motown.
I'll be there with your second place trophy.
Who will be left in the dust? On the next Home Improvement.
Tomorrow at 7 on Fox Philadelphia.
And now part 3 of our special report on the nuclear industry. The fuel that's left over from generating electricity remains radioactive and dangerous for thousands of years.
And something needs to be done with it. Congress has found a site in the desert to safely store the nation's spent fuel, but the project is years behind schedule. Jacqueline Bolden reports in the final part now of Waste Not, Want Not.
This is Yucca Mountain, Nevada. It lies about 100 miles northwest of Las Vegas. It is desolate. It is dry, and scientists say it is the best place in the country to put highly radioactive nuclear fuel and to store it forever. But with the project a dozen years behind schedule, it seems to be taking almost forever to get the repository built.
I think the entire program from well before 1982 has been a learning experience. We didn't understand what we were getting into at the outset.
Congress looked at more than 24 sites around the country before deciding on Yucca Mountain as the permanent underground repository for spent fuel. The fuel will already be in dry storage, packed in steel and cement canisters, when it is brought here to a final resting place deep in the desert.
In that sort of an environment, a hot, dry environment, we can probably engineer a package that, as I say, will maintain the total containment of waste for something over 1,000 years. Beyond the time that the engineered barriers, the engineered system works, then you rely on the geology of the mountain to retain the radionuclides, which will be around for hundreds of thousands of years.
Here is why scientists are so confident that the geology of Yucca Mountain will contain any radioactive materials once the canisters and repository erode. The repository will be about 1,000 feet below the surface of the mountain and about 1,000 feet above the water table. With the annual rainfall here less than 6 inches, there is almost no water movement through the rock, nothing to carry any slowly cooling radioactive waste into the groundwater. Scientists have now dug more than 9,000 feet of tunnel into the mountain, and earlier this month reached the site where the repository will be built. Over the next 2 years, they will take and test the samples, which they expect will prove that storing spent fuel in the mountain is safe. They're also proving how safe it is to get the fuel there, conducting crash tests with fuel canisters on trucks, on trains, and in a pool of burning jet fuel. The goal is to create an integrated nuclear waste disposal system that is as safe as possible.
To put it in one container, that container will be able to be used to ship it by rail, and that same container goes to the temporary site and then is hooked back up, and you never take those rods out again. They stay in there, and they ultimately go right into the rocket at Yucca Mountain.
The spent fuel, approximately 3 loads a week, will be shipped to Yucca Mountain largely by rail. The project will require $700 million just for new transportation systems. Spent fuel will be brought in from 109 nuclear power plants in 30 states around the country. It may pass through states where nuclear power is not used and not welcome, and that is sure to renew the fears and concerns about nuclear radioactivity.
There's going to be a significant public approval process that's got to be dealt with.
Do you expect significant public resistance?
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Not everyone likes or wants nuclear power and its dangerous byproducts. Not everyone in Nevada likes putting the spent fuel here, but it has to go somewhere, and it has to go there soon. Nuclear power plants were never intended to be long-term storage sites for spent fuel, and they are running out of space. Jacqueline Bolden, the Fox 10 o'clock news.
Coming up tonight, Sean Bradley makes his debut with the New Jersey Nets.
And the man for whom he was traded, Derek Coleman, makes his Philadelphia debut. Highlights are next.
Would it be paper or plastic? Sir? Sir? Paper? Plastic? Pick one.
Well, at least you know how to get the groceries home. The always dependable Accord from Honda. Possibly the world's easiest decision.
It's the best thing to happen to shopping. Pass the blues. It's 450 shops and 7 department stores, all in one place. It's 100 new names, like Lord & Taylor. It's the Plaza and the Court at the new King of Prussia.
Circuit City's the place to go for all your holiday shopping with guaranteed low prices throughout the store. Right now, get a free printer when you buy any computer and monitor. Save on all the best top brands and get a free printer. And for a limited time at Circuit City, get no interest and no payments for 6 months on all audio, all video, and all appliances. And every CD is on sale for just $10.88 or less. It's all going on right now at Circuit City. Hurry in today. Circuit City, the right prices right now.
It's Bugle Boy Week at Boscov's. Just in time for Christmas, Boscov's saves you money on Bugle Boy wrinkle-free men's slacks. Only $24.99 in your choice of 5 colors. Save $10 on our entire stock of young men's regular and relaxed fit Bugle Boy jeans, now $19.99. Boys, Bugle Boy jeans, sizes 8 to 20, $15.99. It's the week to save on Bugle Boy. Boys at all Boscov's.
Bill Perry's here with the Sports Clash of the Titans tonight down at the Spectrum.
Yeah, quite a matchup, Rich, quite a matchup. The Sixers losers of 11 in a row going in. Dallas lost their last 2, but 9 of their last 10. And Derek Coleman making his Sixers debut. He did start. He hit his first shot, little J, for a 2-0 lead. But here's a DC 3 miss. But look at the effort by Jerry Stackhouse. Sixers, however, down 2 after 1 quarter. Stack. Second quarter, Clarence Weatherspoon, who came off the bench, finishes. And how about some defense as the Sixers held Dallas to 10 second quarter points. Greg Grant strips Jason Kidd. And Coleman rejecting Jamal Mashburn. Vernon Maxwell had 4 first-half threes, finished with 25. Sixers up by 13 at the break. They were on their way. Third quarter, Stackhouse was spectacular. Finished with 21. Sixers up 19 after 3. They win 108-87. In 31 minutes, Derek Coleman, 17 points and 11 rebounds.
I felt real good. I mean, I got winded at times, you know, but that's going to come. Something I'm not even going to worry about. My shot is going to come. My main thing is just continuing to work hard and just try to get everybody involved out there what's going on.
And what's going on with Sean Bradley? He made his Nets debut, his first shot. Not there on the finger roll. Sean played 16 minutes at 7 points, 9 blocks, 5 rebounds. Here's his first 2, the jam. But the Sixers lose to Minnesota by 11. By the way, those Dallas Mavericks, Roy Tarpley disqualified from the NBA for a violation of his aftercare agreement. As we move on the scoreboard, Chicago beats New York by 7. Boston by 4 over Miami, a 17-point win. Washington over Atlanta. Charlotte by 12 over Cleveland, and a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter Houston over the Lakers. In college ball, St. Joe's in its home opener against Bucknell. Phil Martelli now the head coach on Hawk Hill. His Hawks are 2-0. They led by 18 at the half over Bucknell. Reggie Townsend from Rashid Bey. He had 14 in the first half, finished with 20. St. Joe's wins it 74-54. Penn wins at Towson State. The Quakers 67-61. They are now 1-2. Ira Bowman, a career high, 27 points. LaSalle's now 0-6. They lose to Mount St. Mary's, an NCAA tournament team under Jim Fallon last season. The number 16 seed who lost to number 1 Kentucky. 81-66 your final. Mount St. Mary's up 16 at the half. Silas Chung to the glass. 3 Explorers with 11. Sean Smith, Mike Gizzi, and Romaine Hayward. But ka-chung for Chung to end the first half right there. LaSalle loses it by 15. Nationally, Massachusetts and Wake Forest. UMass is leading at 30-27. Second half is just underway. Mike Tyson worked out today as he prepares for his December 16th Spectrum heavyweight fight against Buster Mathis Jr.
I don't know what I'm doing in Philadelphia. I'm happy to be here, but I don't even know why I'm doing here.
And the same could be said for Tyson's sparring partner. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, and Nate Tubbs doesn't know why he is in Philadelphia either. Eagles-Cowboys Sunday. Charlie Garner will play if he can tolerate the pain surrounding his broken right thumb. You will notice here Mike Mamula is back at work, number 59, coming off the dislocated shoulder. But Andy Harmon just standing around. He didn't practice today, sore shoulder. Kurt Govea didn't practice, a calf injury. Both will play Sunday. The Eagles defense will have to do a better job as opposed to what they did against Dallas a month ago, a 34-12 loss. Emmitt Smith, 158 yards on 27 carries then, with a couple of touchdowns.
It's not a situation where I have to prove anything to anybody. They're the next opponent on the schedule, and we need the game.
Emmitt Smith is a back that's going to gain yards. I think, you know, it's been very few teams to hold him under 70 yards this year. You know, he's a guy that, our main concern right now is going to be to try to minimize his gains. We can't let him just get the big runs on it.
Phillies with a trade today. Right-hander Paul Quantrill goes to Toronto for a couple of prospects, third baseman Howard Battle and left-handed pitcher Ricardo Jordan. By the way, Baltimore released lefty Jamie Moyer from Souderton. I think the Phils should take a look at him. Pucks, Montreal traded goalie Patrick Waugh to Colorado in a 5-player deal. Waugh. That's our sports.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Glad you're amused.
Today, Frank Cariello, Tracy Manizak, Jill and I joined the Police Athletic League in becoming pawns for a good cause. Actually, we were rooks and bishops and queens in a game of live chess. 2 PAL kids played a chess game on a board, and we moved to the correct positions on the giant board at 30th Street Station. There's Jill with a fancy crown there. In the final move, Tracy Manizak, who represented the police department, captured the crown. Checkmate. Fire Commissioner Harold Hairston was a gracious man in defeat, and I was as well, but getting over the way I looked in that bishop's miter might take me a while. Not very handsome look.
You. It's definitely you.
Take us a while. Jill always wears a tiara. People just don't know that.
It's my usual ensemble. All right, Smarty, what's the weather?
Well, actually, we have the PAL chess champ as our weather watcher tonight, and James wants to turn in his chess pieces for a nice weekend snowball fight.
It's seems to be cold and windy today, and hope for a little snow over the weekend.
Stop the presses and start the celebration with a just announced lease rate on GMC Jimmy. Just $329 simoleons with $2,100 down. And while the lease takes care of your wallet, GMC dealers take care of you with 2-year scheduled maintenance at no extra charge. $329 a month for 24 months and $2,100 down. Can you find a better lease deal? No, sirree, Bob. See your Delaware Valley GMC truck dealer today.
Looking for a great gift idea?
Chia.
Chia Pet, the pottery that grows. And there's a new guy in town. Chia Head. It's easy. Just soak your chia overnight. Spread the seeds, keep it watered, and watch it grow. Grow a whole collection of fun with all these Chia Pets. And Chia Head, too.
Chia.
The perfect gift for everyone on your list. Chia Pets and Chia Head, the pottery that grows.
The Chia Pets, available at Woolworth, Happy Harry's, Clover, and Frank's Nursery. Makes a great gift.
Barry White's interlude in Nassau, the islands of the Bahamas. It just keeps getting better.
This is the Bruce Street School for the Deaf in Newark, New Jersey. And this is a service technician from Bell Atlantic. What can Bell Atlantic do for children who can't hear? A grant from Bell Atlantic let children like these create programs to help them communicate with other children. You see, Bell Atlantic understands that there are many ways to listen. Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication.
The 10 o'clock news is brought to you in part by The Money Store.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. The Money Store has built its business by helping homeowners reestablish their credit. For over 25 years, they've specialized in helping people who are behind on their mortgage, credit cards, and other loans to establish a new budget with one loan, one payment. So if you have credit problems and own a home, call the Money Store. You can refinance your mortgage and end up with a sensible budget that works for you. Call the Money Store at 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
There'll be a few snowflakes in the area tonight, but I think we have a bigger problem coming in here Friday night and Saturday. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. To the books, 43 degrees our high temperature today, 36 the low, not too far off the normals of 47 and 31. Record high 68 set back 15 years ago. Sun will rise tomorrow at 7:09. Outside right now at the airports, 37. Humidity 43%, a steady barometer. Southwest winds kick in at 11. If we check the regional numbers right now, they're pretty similar to where they were last night at this time. 31 in Wilkes-Barre, 35 in Reading and Trenton, 37 Wilmington, Dover, Atlantic City, and Newark. You factor in the winds, though. Feels like 15 in Wilkes-Barre right now. Feels like 23 in Reading and 24 in both Allentown and Harrisburg. Well, why are we so cold? Good question. Let's take a look at the jet stream. You can see it coming down just to the south of Philadelphia, and that's trapping a cold wedge of air over the Great Lakes going into New England. Now, there's nice mild air down to the south. The big question is, will this mild air move into Philadelphia? I'm afraid the answer to that is going to be no. If we take a look at the 5-day temperature trend, you can see we will average about 12 degrees below normal here in Philadelphia over the next 5 days. Look down the road 6 to 10 days. We are still expected to be below normal in temperature. All the heat out to the west, above and much above normal temperatures out toward the west and the desert southwest. They'll have all the heat out there. Now, I'm going to show you the satellite imagery. We did have an adjustment in the satellite, so it is going to look like it's cha-chaing here a little bit, but I just didn't want to show you this cloud cover moving up from the Tennessee Valley in toward Philadelphia. And we do have some clouds moving in, and precipitation is spotty at best. The 4D satellite imagery will show you the clouds are thicker down here in the Virginias going into the Carolinas. We're just kind of being clipped by those clouds right now. All the heavy precipitation should be to the south of us. Maybe a dusting of snow down in Kent and Sussex counties in Delaware, maybe a little spit of snow in Cape May, and maybe a flurry or two here in Philadelphia. That'll be about all we can expect overnight and into the morning hours. Now, what's going to happen once we get rid of this batch of precipitation? Now, the good news is high pressure is out to the west here, and it is going to build in very rapidly. We'll see the sun materialize by late morning tomorrow, bringing us a very nice sunny day. But there's another storm system brewing up into the northern plains, and this is going to take shape and move to the southeast over the next 24 to 48 hours, and it could bring us a rain, ice, snow scenario late Friday night into Saturday. It will definitely bear some watching, and I'll give you an update on that tomorrow night at 10. Let's take a look at my forecast for tonight. Mostly cloudy, a few flurries. Again, no biggie. Don't worry about traveling. It's not going to be a problem. The low down to 28, west winds at 5 to 10. And then for tomorrow, becoming mostly sunny but cool. High temperature 41, west winds at 5 to 10. Then for tomorrow night, fair, chilly, the low down to 23. Along the shoreline, look for a high temperature of 42, and in the Poconos, you'll just break the freezing point tomorrow. My 5-day weather picture, here's how it looks. Friday, some sunshine, actually a lot of sunshine. High temperature 42. Saturday, tentative at best. Rain, snow, ice, the whole caboodle with a high temperature 35. Partly sunny on Sunday and Monday. In the refrigerator with high temperatures only 34. Temperatures much below normal over the next 5 days. Welcome, winter.
Just like you said it would be a couple days
I wouldn't lie to you.
Way to go, Frank.
Alrighty.
Thanks, Francis. Coming up, singer Michael Jackson collapses on stage. He's rushed to the hospital.
Thanks, Jillian. And finally, a happy ending for a whale from the movie Free Willy.
in your old car? Oh, more than it's worth?
Through Monday, Potemkin Mitsubishi in Springfield offers you a great escape from your current lease or loan. We'll put you into a new 1995 Mitsubishi Galant S for just $199 a month, 36 months. Plus, once we make a deal, we'll pay off your trade no matter how much you owe. Get out of your old car and get a new Galant S for just $199 a month. Potemkin Mitsubishi Springfield.
Now through Saturday, it's the Heckinger Holiday Brand Name Sale, where you'll save 20% on 23 of our most popular brands, including Owens Corning, Stanley, Emco, Skill, Bosch, Charbroil, and Dremel. Haven't seen the gift you're looking for? Then how about Hunter, Martin Senor, Marilat, and Armstrong? 20% off Ever-Ready, First Alert, Sylvania, AT&T, and more. All 20% off during the Heckinger Holiday Brand Name Sale, now through Saturday.
Who's worried about the air we're breathing? Who's controlling emissions and expanding the use of non-polluting fuels? And who's already decreased the pollutants in our air by more than 3 million tons a year? Who? People like you. People who live here. People who know what you care about.
My home is halfway around the world, but I call there a lot. Basically, everyone's rates are about the same. So why do I stick with AT&T? Clearer connections, operators who speak my language, international redial. It's like this, where most service stops, AT&T is just getting started.
More for your money on calls around the world. That's your true choice, AT&T.
You're watching WTXF, Fox in Philadelphia.
There were some scary moments tonight for superstar Michael Jackson as he collapsed in New York while rehearsing for his upcoming TV special. Jackson was found lying semi-conscious by the side of the stage at New York's Beacon Theater. He was rushed off to the hospital, apparently suffering from dehydration. Emergency workers say Jackson's blood pressure was well below normal and he was described as lethargic. Jackson is in stable condition now. It's unknown if his HBO special will air as scheduled on Sunday night. Fans of radio personality Howard Stern will be glad to know he will be coming to Philadelphia on Saturday. He had threatened to pull out of a planned 10 a.m. book signing at Tower Books on South Street. The Merchants Association wanted to limit the appearance to 3 hours, but the two sides have reached an accord that will allow Stern to sign books all afternoon if he wants to.
Expecting thousands. Movie star Alec Baldwin was charged with battery today for his alleged attack on a cameraman. Baldwin's accused of punching a man who was filming him and his wife Kim Basinger and their newborn daughter last October. Baldwin claims the photographer Alan Zanger was invading his privacy. Zanger says he's happy Baldwin's been charged. Baldwin will be in court next month to be arraigned. The star of the Free Willy films is getting a free ride to a new home. Keiko, the killer whale, is being shipped from Mexico City to a new, larger tank in Oregon, courtesy of the United Parcel Service. UPS says the 7,000-pound movie star will be its biggest delivery yet. Keiko should be in his new home by the first week in January.
The Melrose Diner has been a South Philadelphia tradition for 60 years. And for most of that time, one cook has worked there, but that's only part of the story. As Gerald Colpan reports, the diner took time out today to honor Walter Burkhead. Let me say that right, Burkhead. They honored him for his service above and beyond the call of dinner.
Its slogan is, everybody who knows goes to Melrose, the landmark diner at 15th and Snyder. And in the kitchen is one man who's been going here for half a century, cooking, preparing, and showing the kitchen and now the world how it's done.
Not only is it Walter's 50th anniversary, but Walter celebrated his 90th birthday last month. And in the 50 years that he has been here, he's never missed a day of work.
Ample cause for the Melrose to gather family, friends, and other longtime co-workers for a luncheon celebrating Walter Burkhead, who came to work when FDR was president, and since then hasn't even been late. In 1975, Mr. Burkhead retired, which for him meant cutting back to 3 days a week. Now he's down to 2.
We couldn't work for a better place. I put it up to any place in Philadelphia and anywhere else would come up to par with the Melrose Diner. It's a beautiful place to work.
during the blizzards of 1977 and 1993, when everybody from SEPTA drivers to television reporters were calling out, Walter was right here. And the employees say that part of the reason this place operates so efficiently is due to his example.
He definitely is an inspiration to me, and I'm sure I'm a better person having rubbed elbows with him for 40 years. People like that do make you better.
Walter, thank you. As you might suspect, Walter Burkhead has a great faith in God. Lord willing, he'll be back for his shift come Friday. And he did share with us the secret of such a fine longevity.
Just get up and go to work.
You heard it here at the Melrose. Gerald Colpan, the Fox 10 o'clock news.
A very special film premiered tonight at the Convention Center in Philadelphia. There was a big crowd on hand to see Fox Philadelphia's yearbook, The Class of '65. A documentary about the tragic toll the Vietnam War took on Thomas Edison High School in Philadelphia. 66 former Edison students died in Vietnam, including 9 from the Class of '65. The film was the idea of Fox Philadelphia technician George Sneed. It was shot by photojournalist Todd Wall and was produced and directed by Steve Jimenez. You can see Yearbook, The Class of '65, Sunday, December 17th, right here after the Eagles-Cardinals game. And it is very good, according to you.
I did go to the screening, and it is outstanding.
Great. We'll be right back.
It's the Skate International Champions Series. The international competition heats up when world champions Elvis Stoico and Lou Chen take to the ice. Plus, a special exhibition performance from Michelle Kwan.
Go team!
The International Skating Champions Series, Sunday at 4:30 on Fox.
A dream day at the beach. Beautiful day, isn't it? Turns into Mitch's ultimate nightmare.
Ken and I are getting married.
This weekend, when his ex returns for their son and terror hijacks her jet.
Hobie!
On Baywatch. Tomorrow at 5 on Fox Philadelphia.
Stop! Don't pay retail prices for your computer needs. Come to the Computer Show and Sale in King of Prussia.
So you can't go to any other one place and find this many different products in one location.
Single chip, full computer, Super VGA, CD-ROM. At the Computer Show and Sale this weekend. Millions in merchandise, lots of friendly help. Prices so low they blow the stores away. This Saturday and Sunday at the Valley Forge Convention Center in King of Prussia.
A runner, a teacher, a worker, a lover, around and round, both day and night.
Rite Aid makes it easy to save, like 25% off the White Chantilly fragrance collection, 50% off any Rite Aid brand vitamin C or calcium, and Polaroid Instant Color Film 3 packs for $19.97 after United rebate. For your life, Rite Aid's got it.
In this life you need it all.
And now here's another look at what happened today. President Clinton vetoed the Republicans' balanced budget, saying it was fraught with wrong-headed cuts and misplaced priorities. The veto comes as Democrats work on their own plan to balance the budget in